Hey everyone, today is Thursday, the 4th of July, 2019. This is The Gap, episode 474. I'm Luke Lawrie, and joining me is your friendly neighborhood auto battler, Joab Gilroy.
It is me, and
See
I am
what I did
here.
there?
Yeah, I did. You threw me. Because I thought I got to be Spider-Man, and I thought you were about to confess that I am your hero. But I guess you have to continue to wait until you finally reveal that.
Stay as Batman, I'm sorry.
He's objectively better anyway, so I'm cool with that. I'm fine.
He's like a crap Iron Man, basically.
How is he a crap Iron Man? That doesn't even make sense.
He's a mopey Iron Man.
Iron Man exists in a world, right, where nothing comes even fucking close to the shit that Batman has. Batman exists in a world where Superman exists, and so the power level of villains is ramped up to match Superman and Shazam and Wonder Woman and shit, and Batman rolls alongside them, and he doesn't even wear a nano machine's fucking suit of armor.
He might.
He absolutely doesn't. And meanwhile, Iron Man, like, fucking rolls up. Oh, Captain America, fucking how many fucking dipshits whose only real power is the fucking strength inside them fucking roll about in the Marvel universe. Meanwhile, there's nothing compared to fucking... We all know Superman beats the fuck out of literally everyone in the Marvel universe. And that's just Superman, right? And then you've got, like, Shazam. Shazam would probably beat the fuck out of everyone in the Marvel universe, right? No. Like, there's so many layers.
Now you're just picking fights.
Of people just beating the fuck out of everyone in the Marvel universe. And Iron Man is a dude in a fucking robot suit. And that's what he brings to the table. That and alcoholism. And, yeah, I cannot believe you would describe him as, like, a shit Iron Man. That's ludicrous.
No, a shit mopey Iron Man.
Yeah, that's also objectively not true, because fucking Iron Man spends most of his time fucking whining as well. He's the fucking saddest fucking billionaire ever. At least Batman's got a fucking plan. At least Batman, like, works his anger out some way.
What's his plan? To just
beating the fuck out of the Joker and
parents
stuff.
Forever.
He, like, obviously it stuck with him, right? I'm not saying you're not allowed to have something stick with you, right? What's Iron Man's reason for being? Oh, somebody's kidnapped me. Well, actually, that's pretty good. I've gone too far there.
I've got to get out of here.
I'm gonna just walk that back a little. Nevertheless, he doesn't have any real fucking personal tragedies. He wasn't, like, he fucking wandered out, and he was still the fucking billionaire king shit at everything. Still got the fuck up fucking Justin Hammer's day and shit. Like, yeah, what the fuck? What the absolute fuck? And he's, like, his response to it all is to just drink himself to death, right? Drinking yourself to death is only cool when it's done in a fun way, like what I do, right? Like, that's binge drinking for party reasons, right? He's doing binge drinking for sad reasons. Not about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's way worse and way mopier than Batman. Because Batman works it out by beating people up.
Right.
Which is way better. Iron Man doesn't even get it. Like, Iron Man would be in fucking, like, Gotham City, and he wouldn't get out of bed for anything less than a Joker. Like, it would have to be a Joker-level threat to Gotham for him to even fucking suit up. Otherwise, you just, like, fucking, no, I don't care, right? And Gotham would be a fucking nightmare, right? Because everything's trying to escalate to his level, to a level where he'd actually want to fucking intervene, right? If we're following the same theory as to why anyone does anything in the Batman universe, right? Like, so he's like a shit hero. What does he even fucking do? What? Build weapons for himself? Like, he's still building weapons. What kind of answer is nothing? You gotta have some sort of response. You can't.
No, I just like getting you rolled up in Batman.
Fucking, like, it's just unbelievable. I can't believe you do this.
I'm sure your Twilight buddy will do a good job.
Twilight buddy. Is that where we're going now? See, you've gone too far. You've shown your hand.
I can't talk about Twilight like that to you.
That's what it is. I mean, Robert Pattinson's fucking a fantastic actor, and you're being like a mad joke. Kristen Stewart is terrible in those movies, but she's not that bad in the other ones. I went and saw a movie earlier this week. We'll probably talk about it a bit later. But I glimpsed a trailer while I had my headphones in, so I didn't hear anything, but I glimpsed a trailer, and I believe it was Charlie's Angels. I had to look it up afterwards. Yeah, I think it was Charlie's Angels, and that looks pretty good. She's in that.
Right.
Yeah. Looks pretty interesting. I'll probably watch it. What else would, yeah. I can't remember what else she's been in. She's been in something else where I thought she was good, but I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. That's it.
Not sure. All right. Should we talk about some video games?
Sure. Let's talk about Spider-Man Far From Home, the VR experience.
Ah, yes. I was going to message you and say you should check this out.
Yeah.
But then I forgot, so...
Well, I remembered. And it's shit. I'm not sure, it definitely seems like they made it for the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. What was that called again? Homecoming?
Homecoming.
It seems like they made it for Homecoming. And then they slapped Far From Home on the title, basically.
Yep.
It's got literally nothing to do with Far From Home, the film, and I guess he's got you unlock his Spidey suit from the movie, but otherwise, yeah, nothing. It doesn't have any of the functions that it has in the movie. It's just a recolor. Right. Even beyond that, it's not very good. It made me want to vomit pretty quickly because it does. You press a button to run forward, which I didn't have a problem with. It wasn't fantastic. You turned while running by moving it, turning your head, which I wasn't a fan of. I'd prefer to turn the controller or something. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that. You jump by pressing the touchpad on the controller itself on the wand, and that made me want to vomit because he jumps too high, and you run real fast and you jump quite high, and so the thrust of it sort of triggers motion sickness response in me. So that wasn't great. But then I had to climb over a wall. This is the tutorial, by the way. It gets you to run, and then it gets you to jump, and then it gets you to climb over a wall. And to climb up the wall, you run into the wall and then look up, and you'll run up the. You'll run up the wall. Just thinking about it makes me want to spew again. Anyway, the running up the wall made me really want to fucking vom. And then he jumps off again, and it was fucking pretty close. After you finish that, because I powered through because I'm pro. You can then use the controllers, your wands, and press the triggers to fling out a web, and then you can hoink yourself along. And that actually fucking feels real good, right? As long as I never run up a wall in that game, I never want to fucking spew. But every time I did, I really fucking wanted to shunder. It just wasn't I don't know what they were doing. Yeah, it's not necessary either. I think you can just you can fling yourself up basically any fucking wall anyway. Yeah, the swing mechanics were pretty good. You could put out two web strands at once and then pull back, and you'd fling yourself forward and stuff like that. You can make a web wall. The graphics looked like they might have been. It looked like you were running around in first person. You're in first person running around a upscaled version of the Spider-Man 2 New York, the fucking PlayStation game. Like the graphics are fucking woeful. Like super basic. Weirdest thing though is that there are like the buildings themselves are just like cut paste textures of windows and shit like all over the fucking place. But there are and like you'll be swinging along like down a street in Manhattan, like just fucking flinging yourself along and like going along as being Spider-Man, doing whatever a spider can, and then like you'll see fucking 6 cars in a row, or 6 red cars in a row, and they're all identical on the street. None of them are moving, and then like maybe 2 like blue pickup trucks. And so you land and go have a look at the 2 blue pickup trucks to see what they're all about, and then like you look and there's like a fucking extremely legible "Sorry, we're closed" sign on a door, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is there this much detail on the fucking "Sorry, we're closed" sign, and like the rest of this is some sort of fucking cut paste job? I don't understand. It is the weirdest spot for way too much detail in anything I've seen in a long time. Anyway, you play that the Ned, is it Ned, your best friend? Ned tells you to sort of swing about. You got to go somewhere, but he doesn't exactly say where. And while you're swinging around, a robot shows up out of nowhere. It just sort of warps in, pulls up chunks of the ground, like the road, and sticks it to itself somehow as armor. And then it starts marching its way towards Central Park, and you've got to kill the robots. I don't know, didn't say whose robot it was. I don't think it was anyone's robot necessarily. It was just a robot that existed in the
Judgment Day.
Except it was like 16 stories high, so a little bigger. But when you flung yourself, you would go straight through it, like it didn't exist. So you could just sort of, every time you wanted to fucking catch up, you'd sort of like, you had to do your web shoot to shoot away the armor, and then once you shot away the armor, it stopped, and then you could like kill it. So yeah, fling yourself forward, land on the ground, shoot a bit of armor off, fling yourself forward in front of it, shoot a bit of armor off, ad infinitum, and then yeah, you'd be all good. It'd do its little look at you with a red ray, and then your web shooters wouldn't work. It didn't hurt you, just your web shooters wouldn't work. According to Ned, it was going to reach Central Park in 2 minutes, so I figure that was the time that I had to finish this. I'd say at about 1 minute and 55 seconds, the robot was defeated. Would have been quicker, except for it shot me with the laser. I was trying to find out if it would actually do any damage, and so I couldn't put a web wall up to stop it.
Right.
Yeah, and then when you've done that, it falls over, and that's it. And that's the entire experience. Cool. It was shit, but it was free and 5 gigabytes, so no harm done, I guess. And it took me about, what does it reckon? I deleted it already, but I reckon it would have been about 10 minutes tops as experiences go, and that's accounting for about 2 minutes of like my headset sitting on top of my head and me like trying to really focus on not spewing. So like it would have been rough if I'd spewed. It would have been rough because I don't have a fucking spew bucket in here.
Not ready. Maybe you should get one.
Oh, maybe I should
mount it on the wall.
Yeah, get the old emergency spew bucket ready. Yeah, I didn't really see that coming. So yeah. So that was that.
No, because I'd heard good things about it. Like, obviously, it's very shallow and whatnot, but I'd heard that it works well. And the Steam reviews are pretty high for it as well. But there was a homecoming VR experience when they released that film as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A different one.
There was. And I don't know if that ties more to.
Oh yeah, look
Like-
at Steam reviews. Let's have a look. Please make a
that
full
film.
game. I beg of you. I'll pay anything, please. Really makes you feel like Spider-Man. Oh, what the fuck? Truly makes you feel like Spider-Man. What the fuck? Are these like bot account? Like bot? I don't know. They're like identical. It's weird. There are a couple of negative ones. Sure, it's free, but it's free. Limited control options. No ability to change character rotation to smooth instead of that awful snap thing. Yeah, that was annoying. Webs cannot be grabbed with two hands. I don't know why you would care. There are limits as to where you can go. Yeah, you can't go anywhere in Manhattan. There's like these invisible, like giant fences, electric fences that stop you from going wherever the fuck you want. The city itself is ugly. Web swimming does not seem to be physics-based. That is true. It feels good, but it's definitely not physics-based. You're not like maintaining momentum or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be a fully fledged game. It's just more of a marketing thing, brand awareness.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
nevertheless, Spider-Man
hey,
Far
at least
From
the
Home
film
is
was
awesome.
very good.
Yeah, it's sick. I really liked it. I didn't think I was gonna, because I didn't really know all that much going in, but I'd seen some promotional stuff, and yeah, like obviously we don't watch trailers, but yeah, I'd seen some like hints at where it was going, and yeah, it just didn't seem like it seemed like it was going to be kind of lame.
Right, yeah.
No, man, it was awesome. Like a pretty interesting, complex story with like good villains, good characters, good characterization for like really built on Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker and
And his friends.
yeah, and his friends, and yeah, it felt a couple of times. It felt a bit like a European road trip movie.
Yeah.
Which is cool, and yeah. Jake?
Have you watched the trailer yet?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
I watched the trailer. There is a lot of stuff in that trailer that is not in the film.
Oh, really?
And I saw an interview that someone asked him about that, and apparently they're going to look at releasing it as like a short film or something like that.
Right.
Because there is stuff in there that's like fight scenes and stuff that just aren't anywhere to be seen. Which I think is like supposed to be the opening of the film, but yeah, man, I didn't really know much about it going in. I knew that obviously Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, and he's amazing in like everything.
He's amazing in everything. He's just not everything he's in is amazing.
Is it amazing? Yeah. Yeah. It's not his fault most of the time.
Yeah.
And I knew the character he was going to play without spoiling it, and I was very worried about how they were going to pull this off, because knowing that character from the comics, it's a little like that character's a little bit silly. Their motives and that sort of thing, and I didn't really know how that was going to play off.
Yeah.
And they fucking nailed it. Like, it's such a good interpretation of that character.
Yep.
And the entire time I'm like, I'm pretty like I knew where it was going, but the way they pull it off is really good. And there's one scene in particular, fight scene throughout the film, that fucking is amazing. It's like outstanding. Like, it should win an award somewhere for like special effects. It's that good.
Yeah. There, like, it's. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's only just out, but there are some really, really, really clever bits in that. Like, there's layers to a lot of what they're doing in that fucking in those fight scenes and stuff. Like, there's a lot going on in there that is fucking awesome. There's also like, yeah, again, I don't know how to talk about it without wholesale spoiling some shit, so I'll just let that drop. But yeah, it is like fucking awesome. Yeah, Mysterio. I thought that they did such a good job with Mysterio. I did know. Oh, we weren't saying who it was, were we?
Oh, I think it's fine.
I knew about it, and I don't watch any trailers.
I mean,
and like,
it's on the poster, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like because I knew who it was before I went in, and yeah, I know about him as a character, and I was extremely. I think that's probably a large part of why I was apprehensive going in. And yeah, I thought they did such a fucking good job with that character. The idea.
I mean, it's like the first film, right, where you find out, oh, they're gonna do Vulture.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, like you've got that mind of what Vulture looks like in the comic books, like the original, you know, the first Vulture. Obviously, it's changed since then, but then you think, man, how do they do that? And then they make this giant fucking menacing like bird mechanical monster thing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And then Michael Keaton nails the character.
Yeah.
Completely. His interpretation of the character is outstanding. Like, you get Batman to play the fucking Birdman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
I think, they're doing a really good job with their villains. They're standing out a lot more than some of the Marvel villains that we normally see.
100%. I mean, most of the Marvel villains, with the exception of obviously Thanos, are
Loki and things like that.
Hey,
and Loki.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, like, but a large portion of them are just forgettable. Loki, and I'd say like, fuck no, mustn't be because I can't remember her name. Hela.
Yeah.
Like the Thor character, the Thor villains basically seem to be good, and yeah, all the rest of them are fucking pretty forgettable. Like, I don't know, what's the bad guy's name in Captain Marvel? Jude Law.
I don't know, Zachary.
Jude Lawrington. That's.
Yeah, I don't know if you could say that Jude Law is the bad guy in Captain Marvel.
Can't I? Isn't he? Yeah. Who's the bad guy in Iron Man 2?
Hammer.
That's because I said it earlier. And Whipman. Electric
Whiplash.
Whips.
Yeah.
Whiplash. Iron Man 3?
I got to think about this. I know the character. I know the guy who plays him, but I don't know.
Ben
I can't
Kingsley,
remember the name of the character.
The Mandarin.
No, isn't Ben Kingsley's second film?
He's the third one.
Was he the third one? No, I thought the third one was all the giant robots.
Giant robots.
Oh yeah, no, that was him. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I was thinking of Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce is the bad guy in
Oh, so there's two of them, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Perfect example. Captain America. Who's the bad guy?
Which one? Red Skull?
All right. Well, that's because it's Hugo Weaving and he's a fucking treasure. Yeah, okay, well, but still, they're not very fucking memorable. It's not like fucking Batman villains. They're all memorable. You remember those fucking villains. The Joker.
Like Swamp Thing, yes.
Swamp Thing? Slow the fuck down, okay? I didn't say every fucking DC product is a fucking treasure. All I'm saying is Batman is the best. Ra's al Ghul, Joker, Bane. Like, these are some memorable fucking villains. Mr. Freeze. Like, he's had a lot of fucking villains. And you remember all of them. Because they're all great.
Okay.
It's not the case for Marvel. Marvel's kind of shit.
Fair enough.
You forgot about the Mandarin.
No, I just forgot what film he was in. I knew he was in there.
What did you think was happening in Iron Man 2? It was just this fucking cavalcade of fucking, like, the fucking non-stop roster of fucking villains trotting out. Oh, there's the Mandarin.
Knew that he was an Iron Man villain. I couldn't remember which film he was in.
They're all coming out. Oh, they're fucking everywhere. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, Far From Home, yeah, very good. Obviously, stick around for the post-credit scenes that they do in all of their films.
Yep.
I feel like this one in particular is like... So, like, they like to do recently a lot of these, like, funny little things at the end where it doesn't really have much impact on the story.
Yeah.
Occasionally they'll tease like what's coming up in the next like Marvel Cinematic Universe film, or some of the other ones are like, hey, here's a short snippet from the next film that's coming out. They've done that a few times, but this one in particular felt like it's got actual story ramifications in it that are extremely important.
Yeah.
And I don't know about your cinema, but my cinema went fucking bonkers when this one played. Like when the thing happened in it went nuts. Because you were in Lux, right? So it's not a big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was packed, so a couple hundred people.
Yeah, right.
People were fucking yelling and shit. They were going nuts.
Yeah. I was the only one really losing it in my cinema. But the other thing was a couple waited until the soundtrack, which is almost always the last or second last thing that they show in the credits, and that's when they left. I can only assume that they wanted to find out whether or not Led Zeppelin really did do Back in Black.
Yeah.
Like, I told you it wasn't Led Zeppelin. That's the only thing I can think of. They left, and they didn't see the fucking credit scene that happened 30 seconds fucking later. It was insane. Like, someone was like, what if they had to go to the bathroom? Yeah, what, both of them? One of them couldn't have fucking waited and been all like, you missed some shit.
Yeah. Oh, even the second one has, like, big
implications.
Story stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty...
Because there's things about that film in particular I didn't like, which were completely erased once that scene played out. I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very good. Go see it. It's going to make a shitload of money, I take it. We don't know what's next from them, do we? Like, they haven't announced what the next films are. Phase 4 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, they're filming, like, Black Widow, and they're going to be doing Black Panther. Doctor Strange 2, I think, is the other one that's confirmed. And whatever they're filming in... Aren't they filming one in Australia?
Black Panther had a good villain. Killmonger was fucking awesome. I don't know how the fuck Black Panther 2 is going to have a fucking... going to do better than Killmonger. That's going to be tricky. He was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what one they're filming over here. They were filming something, though. Yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is back on, right? With James Gunn at the helm and everything, so...
Yeah, apparently that's not for a while, though.
No.
It is like 3 or 4 years off.
Oh, really?
Well, he's doing Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's going to come back and do that, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah, right. Fair enough.
I mean, we might get another Thor film before then.
Damn.
I thought they weren't going to do any more, but it sounds like they are.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? Shrouded Insanity.
Shrouded Insanity it's sort of like a bit of a Souls type game. Quite an indie game, a bit of a Soulsy type. I got it in the Steam sale for like $5, and like $5 for the whole trilogy. And yeah, it's sort of like Dark Souls meets Lovecraft more than Bloodborne ever was, because obviously Bloodborne is quite Lovecraftian. Obviously, whenever I say Lovecraft, I mean minus all the heinous racism. This one actually is quite similar to Bloodborne. There's a parry system where you use a gun, which is quite reminiscent. Yeah, it's pixel-arty and has you wandering around this like building, quite like horror themed, really punishing if you take any damage, like super punishing if you take any damage. And yeah, it's basically one of those games where you continue, like you power through some pretty complex fights to get a good grip on an interesting world. And yeah, it is an interesting world. Like I'm I'm quite invested in this world. There's some sort of contract like between you and the person who lets you level up and stuff, because it seems like you've been like resurrected from the dead and stuff. And yeah, it's like it does a weird. It's got a weird little tutorial bit where I died quite a few times, just getting a handle on the mechanics, and then it does this weird thing where I guess the early sections of the map are really like quite repetitive, like hallway after hallway after hallway. I'm not a very big fan of that because I've found it quite easy to get lost, and it's also, quite dull.
Right.
It's not the most exciting thing to explore. So yeah, I was having to make mental notes on, the location of fucking doors, which I don't think is a very interesting orienteering system. So I wasn't wild about it from that perspective. But after you sort of explore, get a bit deeper in the game world, you start to get this really you go to some really interesting locations, and it uses a lot of the like environmental art to expand on the world building quite significantly, and so you wind up in this getting a really good feel for the game world, and it's actually like it's a lot better. It just sucks that you have to go through so many hallways. It's almost like they're trying, like if it honest to God felt like they were trying to make me not want to play it. Until like it was like I had to earn the right to see the interesting stuff, which I think, I've got zero evidence that is the case, that they were actually trying to do that anyone would try to do that, but that's very definitely how it felt to me. Like another fucking hallway with 3 doors that I have to fucking open and see what's on the other side, and then I open the doors and see what's on the other side, and it's obviously monsters, and I had to fucking deal with them. I'm like, oh no, and then I get past the hallways, and it's like I'm excited to go to every new room from there on out. It's just odd. I don't know, I don't know why it would be laid out that way. I guess the alternative is that maybe big fucking mansions do tend to be kind of repetitive and dull after a while. Maybe that's just the construction of a fucking mansion, and I'm such a fucking pleb that I just don't know how fucking mansions work, Joab, so fucking sort it out, cunt. But I don't know. It just didn't. It was like it's very weird. I guess I'm explaining it this way because if you are going to play it, I just want to say, power through the fucking hallways, right? You don't need to go through the hallways. Like, there are different directions you can go in, but the hallways definitely, they felt like the correct way to go. Sort of the, Dark Souls style thing of, you don't have to go through the undead burg, right? But if you decide to go through the graveyard, the invincible ghosts will fucking murder you. So, it's a choice, but it's not much of a choice. Yeah. Right. You don't really get to make the decision. But yeah, I think it's worth checking out. Apparently,
so it's on sale at the moment.
Yeah, it's on sale in the Steam sales.
Yeah,
I got it in the bundle, the Scoutfold bundle.
Right.
So I got there's 3 games in the series, and yeah, I will definitely wind up getting through to all of them eventually. Apparently, the second one's the best one, and yeah, it's just like this. I just really appreciate interesting world building. Ignore the artwork, which is extremely weeby. In game, it's not as weeby. Yeah, not weeb-tastic. It's more pixel art, which is good.
Right. And looks like it's screens? You're going from left to right, or is that how it works?
Yeah, like you can move in and out. Like it's it's not like a side scroller. You can there are screen. You can go to screens up or down, left or right. But yeah, you are going from screen to screen, so it is sort of. How the fuck do we describe that? It is like a
Zelda, like a old Zelda.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's
except it's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
not that same sort of art style.
Not at all that art style. It's very it looks a lot like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it is not that style of gameplay at all. And yeah, you are very, I guess you're empowered to go wherever the fuck you want. You're not forced down any particular route, except by way of getting shit handed to you by going the wrong fucking way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just really it's a good combat system and a compelling world for you to explore. So it's just a good combo. It is very Souls-esque.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an older game though, 2016.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yep.
I wonder if the third is a bit newer, a bit closer to now.
It's one of those things where you look at the HUD though and you're like, oh yeah, okay, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Or From Software.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're managing stamina, and you take so much fucking health. If you actually wind up getting hit, you cop so much fucking health damage. So yeah. The third game, it looks like, came out in 2019.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out.
Right. Auto Battler time.
Auto Battler time.
Should I talk about Teamfight Tactics?
Yeah, let's start with that one. So last week I think I was a bit down on it, mostly because my key problem I think was and still is that if you don't know fucking League of Legends characters, then you're gonna have the fucking toughest time with Teamfight Tactics. You really fucking are. It's so difficult to. It's an auto battler. If you want to know more about auto battlers, go to IGN and you can read my big write up on what are auto battlers. Yeah. We talked about
read
last
it.
week.
Just read it now.
Just read it like me. I'll read it out. It's only 3,500 words, so that won't take too long. One of the things Teamfight Tactics does is this shared draft, where at the start of each game and every, I want to say fifth round or so. I didn't count how many rounds, but anyway, you are all teleported to a single area, and there's a bunch of heroes running around in a circle, and you grab one, right? And the player with the lowest amount of health gets to choose first. Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a it's a catch-up mechanic in that you get to if there's a fucking great character, a 5-goal character running in the circle, and you're out first, you get first dibs. So yeah, you might automatically get the Tide Hunter of your dreams, or whatever the fuck League of Legends version of that is, right?
Fishman.
Fish. Yeah. Wave Ranger. So the other thing is they've all got items on them as well. So you wind up actually getting a bunch of items just purely out of the shared draft. You, at the very least, you guaranteed an item out of that. At the same time, there is still a massive item disparity between because it is random. You're not guaranteed an item at the end of a creep wave. They said they're going to address it, but I don't think they're addressing it in a satisfactory way. What they said they're going to do is they're going to make sure that nobody leaves the first 3 creep waves without at least 1 item, and nobody leaves the first 3 creep waves with more than 6 items. Apparently, that was fucking happening. People were just fucking itemed up to the gills. You can't beat someone. You cannot beat someone who has fucking 6 items when you've got one or no items. It's never going to happen. Like, you would just fucking lose those fucking rounds. The other thing that it's going to do is make sure you don't not get any items from waves like after that as well. You'll always get items, which is good, but they should still rectify it. You should always get the same amount of items as everyone else. There should be no fucking... I don't care if what item you get is random. You have to have the same amount of fucking items. You have to have that at least that same amount of fucking opportunity.
Right.
You know. Anyway, so they're addressing that, but the problem, right, with the shared draft is that if you don't know League of Legends characters, you can't fucking tell who's good or not, or who you need for your fucking team. You can't be all like, that's Squadlevel. He's a knight and a ranger, and I've got rangers, so I need Squadlevel. I'll go straight for him. That's actually, this catch-up mechanic's working, right? If you don't know who the fuck Squadlevel is, then and you don't know that he's a fucking knight and a ranger, then you're cooks, right? I think noble, not knight. Noble ranger.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've changed the wordings of the
yeah. All of that's changed. Squadlevel is a made-up character as well. I made that up like a genius. And it's one of those things where, like, it feels like it's no longer a catch-up mechanic at all. You're just sort of like, well, I'll just grab, like, I know I need this item at least, right? Like, I can always use a spatula, or I can always use a fucking belt, right? So I'll grab the belt. I'll grab the guy with the belt, and I'll just sell him. I'll get 3 gold out of the belt, the dude, and I'll have a belt. That'll be fine. The problem is when you get someone and it turns out that it's someone you already had, and you create a synergy, and then suddenly you've got like a fucking 2-star dude with the belt that you wanted to put on someone else. Like, good, yeah, excellent. That's what I meant to do. Perfect. Anyway, so I was quite down on it last week because I didn't think I wasn't really about it, but I started to learn at least the characters in Teamfight Tactics, and started to really understand, them on site, and I actually appreciate it more than I do Underlords. It still drives me bananas because the itemization is fucked, right? Like, I will never get over how fucked the itemization is. It's just plain and simple uncompetitive. But beyond that, I feel like there's a lot more complexity in Teamfight Tactics than there is in Underlords. Just because the grid isn't like the squares, so there's a lot more room for assassins to get into the back line because of the hexes. There's more angles for them to attack from, which means you can't basically just lump all your fucking casters in the back corner and let them do their thing while the assassins have to sort of attack from the outside. You can't do that. The other thing is the items, when they're fairly distributed, do allow for some really interesting combinations and allow you to really drive towards specific build concepts. And I know that Underlords does that, and they added a bunch of new global items, and they changed how a couple of the global items did work. And I think that has helped Underlords significantly because it has ramped up the complexity quite a bit. Taking into account those globals is quite important, in my opinion, now, to the point where I think you should be looking at what items like your opponents have every single fucking game. I think it's an important portion of knowing how you're going to win a game. But it doesn't really compete with the ability to really stack a single hero in Teamfight Tactics, really pump one up into something that is ludicrous. And everyone has if you check out the videos or the Reddit or the Twitter threads, you'll see like a bunch of different like preferred heroes to really stack up, but generally whichever hero you want to fucking stack to death is best. You can put multiple items on one character, and because the little items combine into bigger items, but it's not the crazy fucking Dota building system. It's not like you need 2 fucking hammers and a fucking shield to make a super hammer or some shit.
Sure.
Because it's literally just combine a belt with a cloak and you'll have this thing, you know?
Cosplay.
Because like it's a rigid sort of set grid of 8 things, like the basic items. There's 8 basic items, and they will always combine into certain things. You get the opportunity to really experiment with some interesting stuff. You know, you can really turn your entire game around if you find the right item, right? Like I had a game where I wasn't losing outright, but I wasn't going well. Like I was in trouble, and I found, I can't remember off the top of my head. I had to play it with a fucking cheat sheet next to me. I have to have a fucking screen that has all the fucking item combinations because I can't fucking remember what does what. But basically, the spatula is like this wild card thing, and you add it to another item, there's 7 items or 8 items. If you add 2 spatulas together, the item allows you to add an extra like player onto the fucking board.
Right.
So you go direct from 7 to 8 without even having to level up. You maintain your same level. So it's a huge fucking boon. Depending on the timing of the match. Like if you can get 2 spatulas early on, you can really start to like snowball a little bit.
Right. So they're not tiered.
The items, the items are tiered, but you'll still occasionally find like there's a randomness about the spatula in that it'll sometimes show up in the auto draft, the shared draft.
Right.
And so suddenly, you can vary. Like I've gotten a spatula pretty early, 2 spatulas pretty early, and just stacked some shit. The other thing is the spatula also combines with other stuff. So let's say a belt. Let's combine a spatula and belt, and you get to like the hero wearing it is now considered glacial, which is a race, you know, or spatula and a sword, and it's now an assassin. Spatula and a cape, and it's now a sorcerer. And you can really change the landscape of your fucking synergies by doing that. You might go from, in my particular case, I was struggling a little bit. I think I was doing like knights and shapeshifters, and I had 1 glacial, and I managed to get the 2nd glacial, and the difference it made to my fucking like team composition was fucking spectacular, like huge, because the glacial bonus allows them to like randomly freeze an enemy. It's sort of like the shaman, you know, turning someone into a frog, but they're stunned instead. It is a pretty huge deal because it just locks someone out for a little while. And it totally changed my entire game around, and I managed to get back out in front and win the game, which was good. You know, I was happy that my decision to use those items in that way had directly influenced my victory. I had to get the item I needed to combine it with the spatula. I had to like get it out of the shared draft because I wasn't getting dick all from the fucking creep waves. But yeah, it just meant that when the shared draft came up, I didn't even look at who the fuck was in the circle. Right? I think there was like a 5 gold character running around, and I didn't even bother. I went straight for the fucking item that I needed, the belt, and I grabbed it, and that was it. You know, I felt like I was in control of dramatically changing the course of that game through my specific choices in that draft phase, you know, which is, I think, is fucking sick, right? I think that is exactly what you want out of the catch-up mechanic that is the shared draft. I think it's, really smart. And yeah, from that perspective, I think TFT does a really fucking good job. You know, the other mad stack I did, I think I showed some screenshots of it. If you look at the IGN piece, they made a video. I gave them footage of this game, the game I played, where I essentially was one hit away from losing outright, like straight up. I think I would have come like fifth, and I spent all of my gold to get one extra character on the board, and I wound up winning. The person in first place had 94 fucking health, and I was at 13. I managed to win that fucking game, and I was eating fucking so much shit each turn because I think that's the other thing. Underlords, you don't really eat shit until pretty fucking late. Like, after turn, I'd say 25, you're okay to cop a lot of shit until, I'd say, like, if you're still eating a ton of shit by round 20, like, the game might have gotten away from you. But, like, if everything's going well, if everything's pretty even, right? If you've won more games than you've lost in Underlords, you won't really notice a loss until round 25, in my opinion, right? That's when the 3 stars start coming out en masse, or there are a lot of 2 stars that wind up living, and you just eat a shit ton. You like 14 to 18 damage type stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's not the case in fucking TFT. You eat shit all the fucking time. It's constant. You eat shit from the creep waves you lose. You eat shit from the fucking like every single additional fucking unit that's alive. Like, yeah, you just cop a bunch of shit. So yeah, you can really quickly. 13 health is sweet fuck all. That's a recipe for disaster. That is, you are dead. So yeah, I was fucked. I managed to turn around, and it felt fucking sick. And the reason I managed to turn around is literally because of the choices I made. The choice I made to like spend every single fucking cent I had to get. And it's really hard for me to tell in TFT the economy of the other players, only because it's so fucking easy to see what other people have in Underlords. Underlords makes everything so easy for you to understand, which is fucking amazing, right? That's spectacular about Underlords. Underlords is absolutely the first auto chess anyone should play. When you go to TFT, you're like, I think that's how much gold they have. Like, they don't have like any of these little blips along the side of their board, so I think that means they're not getting any interest. So I think they've got less than 20 gold. And like, that's it, right? That's how you fucking discern that information. Meanwhile, in Underlords, it's like, Joab has 2 gold left and 33 health. He's fucked.
And level 8, whatever.
Yeah. And he's only level 6. Everyone else is level 8. If you fight him next, you're probably gonna win. Yeah, it's hairy as fuck, right? So anyway, I was over the fucking max interest cap, and I managed to fucking spend it all, turned it around, won the game from literally the death. It felt fucking awesome. It was cool. Yeah, that's TFT. Like, is a lot of me struggling real hard to work out what the fuck I'm looking at, and then a lot of being real pleased when I managed to just barely work out enough shit to, like, because I think at this point I have the fucking basics pretty down. You know, at this point in Underlords, I would say I could win half my games, right? Maybe not half, a quarter of my games, which I think is fine, right? Pretty reasonable, right? I prefer it was half, but a quarter is fine. And I would say that I could probably place in most of my games, right? Present, most recent history notwithstanding, because I've been trying out some shit and trying to like dick around with the wackier build types, like my all demons build.
Yeah.
That's just experiment. I think you've got to be able to experiment to sort of try to find something interesting in the game. TFT, right? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at half the time, I find it very difficult to experiment, and I find that
is that because there's a book in the game that you haven't found yet?
Yeah, there might be a book in TFT that I haven't found yet. That's amazing. I cannot believe I hadn't found that. It's spectacular. If you go to the fucking shop in Underlords, there's a fucking book icon on the far left, and you can click it and see the fucking synergies of everything. I just sort of fucking remembered everything because I played Order Chess, right? So I already knew all the fucking.
No, it's Fish Guy. He's a tank.
Yeah,
he's a warrior.
But yeah. Yeah.
But so the games are shorter then if you're taking more damage?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Way shorter.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably the quickest of the current Auto Chess triumvirates.
So they've talked about doing a turbo mode for Dota.
Yeah.
Like, what does that entail then? Do you think it's just
double damage, double gold? That's what I.
Yes, like that. Less round time in between.
Yeah, I definitely cut down on round time.
Like 5 seconds or something, because
5 seconds.
3 seconds. How long do you get in between each round to buy stuff?
In what, Underlords?
Yeah.
30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fucking yonks, man. Yeah, I'd cut that
by 10 seconds, maybe.
I'd cut it by 10 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd cut that by 10. I'd double the damage you take, double the gold you make, and try to see people getting up the levels quicker. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep. Anyway.
All right. So Underlords. We talked about it a bit last week. They had, I think, just released the Knights patch, right? And we were talking about it being a bit OP. People were running like a lot of Knight synergies because they gave them a really big buff, and they also buffed dragons at that stage by giving dragons extra abilities, like a third ability, which was huge. So you were seeing a lot of Knights, and Knights, their basic synergy is they decrease the amount of physical and magical damage that they can take when they're sort of standing next to each other. And so we're seeing a lot of Knights. The next day they nerfed them a little bit.
Yeah.
They not a huge nerf. It's like that thing where in video games, someone will put out a patch and they're OP. I think we talked about this last week. They're OP for a little while because people are trying to figure out how to work against them and like what the deal is.
Yeah.
So the next day they did a really small patch. They sort of decreased the amount of damage they were able to deal out in some of the higher levels, so made them a bit more powerful towards the end game. And then also lowered that like damage reduction we were talking about a slight bit as well. And then that kind of balanced it out a little bit. I think there's still seeing a lot of Knights on the board as like a favorable option to go with because they're extremely tanky. Like, yeah, they're pretty strong compared to some of the others, like your Warlocks and your Scales. Like, you don't see a lot of them out there much.
No, yeah.
Like your Brawnies.
No, I think
it's not like something you go with.
I think it's a case of what you are seeing more than it is a case of what you're not seeing. Because you're seeing Knights and because the easy win, like easy clap, fucking team comp du jour is warriors, hunters. What you're looking at is a lot of physical damage, and so Knights are a really good counter to the physical damage of the warrior hunter combo.
Sure.
right? And so the reason scales don't work out that well is because we're not seeing all that much magic. Because magic users tend to get fucking pantsed. I'm not sure why that is. They're super powerful in TFT, and they get fucking shredded to bits in Underlords. And yeah, I haven't really worked out why. I think it's because to get them properly online, to get that fucking 100% boost, you need 6 of them, and the 6th one doesn't come till 5 gold.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, they never really. Once you do get them online, I had a game where I managed to make it happen, and they successfully built towards scales to slow me down. But like while I was online, while I had all 6 on there, I basically lost every fucking round up until I got my 6th fucking sorcerer, like magic user mage, and then I started non-stop winning in like microseconds. It was like fucking bang, everything's fucking dead. So I think my itemization, I had 2 of those fucking cooldown reductions pieces. I can't remember what they're called. Octarine essences. And I had one on Lena and one on Puck. And Lena would literally zap literally anyone and they were dead. Like, just gone. And Puck would send the fucking ball out, and everyone in the fucking path of the ball would lose half their health in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like, it was ludicrous. Until they managed to build a Tidehunter Medusa combo. That's how I wound up inevitably losing, because I couldn't, at that point, I think I couldn't afford to lose a single round. And yeah, I did lose a single round, so I wound up coming 3rd, I think. But yeah, like that's the only reason you don't see a lot of scales, is because people don't build sorcerers, because I think the expense is too high. They need to do something about that. I'm not sure what they do. Yeah, or maybe I just don't know how to build to it correctly. Anyway, the end result, like, I minced the fuck out of knights, right? Like, because they didn't have the fucking they had physical resistance. They don't have fucking magical resistance. So yeah, they were just getting fucking deleted. So what I'm saying is, the reason knights are super powerful is because warrior hunter is so fucking so prevalent, rather. And so knights tend to beat that matchup a lot of the time. So yeah, because as long as the knights don't, I think the knights out DPS the warriors, but they don't outlive the warriors unless they've got the knight synergy, in which case they do. And I just don't know. I think he's still built around it. I think warriors hunters still winds up being more powerful than knights. Like knights, what's the other one? Knights trolls, is it? Or knights warlocks? Knights warlocks. Like, yeah, I think warriors hunters still winds up being. I think there are just more pieces, more ways for the warriors hunters combo to be stronger. You can get that fucking, what's that fucking global buff for brawny units that gives them fucking 50 extra health? Oh my god, it's disgusting. It is ludicrous. The amount of fucking axes I've run into, I'm like, why the fuck is there an axe on the board when everyone's level 10? And then, like, you click on them and they got fucking 4,000 health. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I supposed to do here? Nobody does that much damage.
I like having Juggernaut, I feel like, is a better one, because I struggle to get kills with axes unless you get a really early 2-star.
Yeah.
Whereas Juggernaut, I feel like he's got his spin ability, which deals out damage, makes him immune to magical attacks as well, so he can spin and do damage to people.
Yeah.
And if you get that, then I feel like he's pretty good to have that ability on.
When you've got that fucking global, the brawny racial buff is so fucking pointless.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it, 200 extra health? Like, fucking,
Something
what
like
is
that,
the
yeah.
point? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Is a drop in the fucking bucket.
It's like 4 kills.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, it's good, like, trying to work out all those synergies. I think the global items is probably the, like, Underlord's best path towards a significant amount of complexity. Because not only can you stack them, Drew was playing with two of those Demon Hunter global buffs, where for every unique demon, the Demon
50%.
Hunter gets 50% or whatever extra
Pure
damage.
damage, yeah.
And so he did the demon build that I did, a Terrorblade, and I think it was two star anti mages,
Yeah.
and then a stack of fucking demons. And
Right.
he, like, anti mage was just fucking ripping the fuck out of people. They couldn't do anything, like, just fucking ripping straight through them, which I think is really cool. It's one of those ones, because I tried exactly the same thing, but I only had one of those global buffs, and I just got fucked. It just never really came online. It took me way too long to actually find Terrorblade. I think I was like level 8 by the time I found a single fucking Terrorblade. So none of my demons were really doing as much damage as they should have been anyway, because if you've got more than one demon on the board, they cancel out their fucking own buff until you've got two demon hunters. So I was just fucking twisting in the wind until I found the demon blade, the Terrorblade, which fucking sucked. But even after that, like, with every demon in the game on my team and multiple 2 stars, I still wasn't putting out anywhere near as much damage as Drew was. Drew was jumping on motherfuckers and they just fucking disappear. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So they haven't really done any big patch. They were like pumping out a patch like pretty much every day or every second day if they miss one, but there hasn't been one since Monday? Was there a patch Monday? Or was there a Thursday then Friday patch?
I don't know.
The 27th. Yeah, there hasn't been a patch for a while, since last week. But there's one coming tomorrow apparently, which if they get it out in time, is going to rework alliance units. So the Warlock alliance units.
All right.
Because Warlocks they heal, so they do like a life steal on other characters on attack. So depending on how much you've got, depends on how much life steal you get. They're tweaking some of those units as well. So that's like your Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman is a shaman.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it's in the name.
Oh, right.
Warlock is a warlock.
Yeah, Warlock. Who else is there?
Shadow Fiend.
Oh, yeah, Shadow Fiend's got it.
Necrophos.
Zeno.
Yeah.
Necro, yeah. Is that all of them? Is there there's 6?
Yeah, there's 6.
I can't remember the rest.
Witch Doctor.
Yeah, Witch Doctor's one.
And Alchemist.
Alchemist is the other.
Fuck, I'm good at fucking Dota.
Yeah.
Fuck, damn. Look at me go.
But they're also reworking shamans as well, which is good because they're a bit weak at the later game.
My favorite shaman is Warlock, obviously.
Right.
Yep.
Why is that?
Because he's not a shaman. Because he's got Warlock in his name.
Fair enough. 3 new items they're chucking in.
Oh, yep.
They're going to make tweaks to the win and losing streaks, so they might be trying to, I don't know, change that a little bit. Stop people from using this
open fort,
killing yourself.
Yeah.
Strategy.
It's a good idea.
They're putting in a large scoreboard, so I guess you'll be able to maybe see everybody that's going on at the same time, as opposed to just one person. And some other experimental features.
Cool.
Or maybe the large scoreboard is the actual global leaderboard system, because I know they're working on that as well.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, bit of a slower update week. Like that last patch was a lot of bug fixes.
Yeah.
As opposed to mainly like changes and whatnot. But yeah, some good changes in there still.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I've put like another 10 or 15 hours into it over the last couple of days. It's like the game that I sort of put on when I've got, an hour to spare. I was actually playing it while watching Epicenter over the weekend.
Nice.
So the last big Dota tournament before the International, which is coming up in August. And yeah, man, that was some good games.
Yeah.
I sent you one of them, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, you were expecting this team to just lose flat out, and they just hold on for an hour. and then come back and win it. It's stupid.
Was that the game? I saw a clip of, I think it was it Team Liquid?
Yeah.
Like, just straight up annihilating Roshan.
Oh, yeah, that's that one. So he gets to a point where it hasn't spawned yet, and he kills it in half a second.
It was...
Because he gets this item on it.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to theory craft, like, what is going to happen, because they don't know.
Oh, really?
And then they, like, the commentators...
None of that was in the clip. It was just the fucking...
Right.
They're all just sitting in the pit waiting for him to spawn, and then fucking gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ludicrous. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but that entire game was just basically Liquid getting destroyed, and then them having to like sit in their base for a really long time and like split push and just trying to get one character super fucking farm for late game. And then as soon as he came online, as soon as he got to level 25, that was it. They left the base and just started stomping.
Sick. All right, I'll catch it. I need something to watch.
Very fun to watch. Like, it's obviously a bit slow in between while you're just watching teams farm and like one team getting fucking pummeled.
Old school.
And then it just changes like instantly once they hit 25. And then it's like, any team can kind of win from that point on because, yeah, while like they got very cocky at the end, like, we just won a fight. They then lost the next fight, and then it really started to turn around. Like, maybe we can't come out this far out into the open.
That's amazing.
Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of... I've been playing some Dota while watching some esports things. Sorry, Dota Underlords while watching some esports stuff in the background. Yeah, just trying to rank up. I'm liking the ranking system a lot more. Like, you're not playing it... It seems like a bit more even now. You look at the people you get matched up against, and they're pretty close to your level, your current level, and then, you're trying to sort of grind into their new leaderboard system. And then it's also fun just playing with friends. Like, alright, we'll just get a stack of people on and jump into a public match and play that way. See how everyone's going and watching.
I actually enjoy, like, obviously, I hate losing, but I actually enjoy, like, watching other, like, you guys play.
Sure. And,
like, there's none of the pressure to make the correct decision. So I'll be like, fucking, you should swap these two characters. And you'll do it. I'm like, he's so fucked.
I wouldn't have done that. You're like, I would have done that. Yeah.
I'll be like, Drew, you should ditch this character and put this one instead because blah, 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 blah. And I'll have some fucking overwrought fucking reasoning for it. And you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then he'll do it and just fucking get pantsed. Yeah. It's good times. It's good times. I do enjoy it. No, I actually do enjoy, like, talking out the reasoning for why certain decisions should get made and stuff.
Yeah, because, like, sometimes you're not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
You're thinking about some other combination, and you're focusing so hard on that you realize, like, my placement isn't correct down here or something.
Yeah, I think there was one game where I think like we spent the entire 30 seconds discussing whether or not a Medusa should be in like one spot or another spot. I think like it was your game still, and it was like close, right? Or was this Drew's game? And like he was literally he was winning on his screen, and the last other person alive was winning on their screen. Like they were both successfully defending each fucking round. Yeah. We were talking through how the fuck he was supposed to fix this shit, so that he actually fucking win. It was bananas, but it was good. It was just like, yeah, it just feels like collaborative theory crafting, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, like, again, if they're going to change the way combat works, like who you're versing, because as an esport, it doesn't really work. Like, you can obviously watch it, but it's not as watchable because it's too confusing. I feel like if you're somebody that doesn't really understand what's going on and you're watching it the first time,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, these two people are fighting each other, and one team wins, but really they're not winning, they're just defending, and they have lost against somebody else because they're playing two matches at once. It's like really weird, and like the two people that they're playing, like you're not really seeing what the other person's seeing, and it's just this weird, like, it doesn't work as an esport in its current format. But I think it could definitely get there if they change it to a proper matchup,
like the TFT version.
Sure, it's just what happens when you've got uneven matchups, like if there's 7 people playing in the game.
Yeah, so what happens to TFT when that happens is, and I far and away think TFT's version is better, but it clones one of the armies and sends it over to you. And so you just fight a clone army, and it doesn't count, which I don't like. I had a game where it was really close, and I am 100%, I came second, I'm 100% certain I would have won that game, but there were like 3 of us left. I lost in the next round. I would have won that game if I had fought the legitimate version of the dude who wound up winning, because I pantsed his clone, I fucked his clone up, and he would have died. We were all sub 10 health. So it's basically anyone, whoever, like if you lose a round, you lose, right?
Yeah. So he doesn't lose anything because you've defended, but he's actually attacking the other person.
So probably. So there's 3 players: player 1, player 2, player 3. Player 1 and 2 are fighting. Player 3 is fighting a clone of player 1, right? Player 3 successfully defends against player 1 and fucking annihilates the fuck out of him. Player 2 loses to player 1, right?
Yeah.
And then the next round, player 1 gets 2 new 3-star characters, and I got fucking destroyed. If I'd beaten player 1 legit as opposed to clone, then I would have won the game.
Sure.
Which, yeah, that was probably the saltiest I've been in TFT. So I definitely should have won it. Like, I won the fucking round, right? Like, that's how the fucking game is supposed to work.
Yeah. And I think that's where they're stuck at the moment.
Yeah.
As to, like, what to do, because obviously I haven't sat down and thought about it, but yeah, it's this weird spot of, all right, what do you do now that it's uneven? To try and balance things out.
What about a buy? What about a buy? You know how in AI rounds you don't get like bonus money? You don't get like the win bonus. You don't get any of that stuff, right? What about a buy where you don't get any of that money? So your economy takes it, like, doesn't take a hit, but you don't get as much economy. But you also don't lose any life, and you
don't get an item.
No, this is not for an AI round. This is for player 1 versus 2 versus 3.
Oh, okay.
So player 1 just gets a buy, and 2 and 3 fight it out, and player 1 then has to fight the resulting winner or something like that, right? And it cycles through. If there's still 3 players next round, then player 2 gets a buy, and player 3 gets a buy, and it just cycles through so that the lowest ranked player winds up getting the buy last, and that's their punishment for being last. Or you can do it the reverse and use it as a catch-up mechanic where player 3 gets a bye and player 1 and 2 don't. And they have to duke it out. In both of those cases, I still would have lost the game that I was talking about, but I wouldn't have felt bad because I wouldn't have felt like I should have fucking won. I wouldn't have felt like I had
been cheated.
Technically fucking beat the person in the battle, just not seen any fucking results for it. Yeah, I think that's I don't know. Buys are a tricky one as well because there's no risk, I guess, but I do think it's probably the better, the best version, best possible routes to take.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it. They're trying to figure that out. It may take a little bit of time, but knowing Valve, that is something they would change to make it watchable as an esport, because then it doesn't work at the moment.
No.
As an esport to watch. It's too confusing.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, hopefully that... I'm keen to see what that patch is tomorrow, though, to mix things up. I'm sure they're going to start adding more characters in there, and that'll sort of diversify, all the characters that you can sort of play around with and what matchups you kind of use.
Yeah.
Yeah, still digging it quite a lot.
Yep. The mobile version is janky as fuck. I don't know if you played on mobile a lot. I've been playing it on mobile quite a bit because everything that I do in your stupid fucking Empires and Puzzle games takes fucking 15 hours now, so it's not much I can do. But mobile kind of janky. Just putting down and resuming a game, you have to be so fucking specific, or you just lose rounds. I'm not talking about get defeated in a round. I'm talking about a round will cease to exist and you'll have been skipped on to the next one, except you'll have gotten none of the economy, so you'll just be fucking a big chunk behind everyone else. It's definitely happened a bunch, unless you specifically pause at the end of fucking at the start of fucking buy phase, preparation phase, all this kind of shit.
Right.
But it's still good. You just have to be very deliberate about what you're doing in it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. Did you play any PUBG? Because you didn't put that down.
I did play some PUBG, but not heaps. I'm still enjoying my time with it. Not wild about the ping situation, but I think we were talking about it, right? Because we won that game with Kleb, right? That was after the last podcast. Were you playing? Oh no, it wasn't you. It was Drew and Heath and me and Kleb. We won that. We won our game. After our bullshit warm-up round, and it was a really good reminder of what I love about PUBG, and it is you just don't get third-partied. There's not enough fucking pace in the characters to reliably third-party.
This is a map so much bigger.
Yeah, you can set up to ambush post combat, but you can't just bust on into a fucking firefight and expect to do well, because you'll just wind up getting fucking shredded. The way you need to use cover, the way you need to use positioning and height advantage and sightlines means that you just can't sort of fucking show up and see what happens, which definitely makes PUBG more my style of game. I love the fucking tension, just before the action goes down, and then the fucking bang, and everything fucking happens all at once. It's hectic as fuck for a little while, and then it goes back to that calm, and then it's got that ebb and flow that I think is a good, it's the way a good story works. That fucking rise and fall that proceeds to build and build and build until it's a huge fucking that climactic set piece at the end, the big fucking action sequence, and then the end. And either you're the heroes of the piece and you won, and you get to deconstruct your victory, or it turns out you were the bad guys the whole time and you lose, and the heroes won, and they get to walk away with their victory, and you're finished. And yeah, I think it's very much my style of game. We were playing on Miramar, and just the fucking, we actually got third party, right? And it's such a good example of why that just doesn't work. I mean, Drew died fucking instantly, basically. I think he landed at the same warehouse as some dudes on Miramar and just got fucking pounded. So me and Heath ran across the road to go do something about it. We killed these dudes, basically killed an entire team, and then as we were coming back, this is the PUBG version of getting third party, but we start getting fucking pinged at. They steal a kill by getting the finish on someone who's downed, and start taking potties at us. I'm literally in the middle of a fucking open road, and just a hail of gunfire lands all around me. It was full blown some fucking action movie shit. I'm just fucking shit. My fucking adrenaline spikes to fucking 1000% in the fucking, in a heartbeat. I'm just fucking all systems go. What the fuck is going on? There's someone else here. We gotta fucking do something about this. I hit the deck behind the fucking car. There's still fucking bullets raining down. Cleb manages to get a fucking angle on the guy. I managed to get up and go across the road while he's he was on the roof of the jail in, I can't remember the fucking city, but it's northeast Miramar, sorry. He was on the roof of the jail there, and I sprint across the fucking road, still terrified that I'm gonna get shot. Get across, no worries. We managed to surround him, kill him. Then the circle's there. We're gonna drive in under pressure from the circle. We managed to get to a spot. Fucking all that's good. We're getting sniped at from fucking yonks away. That's fucking hairy as balls. We managed to we get ambushed by a crew on top of this hill, and we just fucking bum rush them. We ping these fucking grenades over this fucking hill and chase them the fuck down, kill them, get out, gear up, everything's good. Move on. We lost our car to the circle because we couldn't go back in time to get it. Push forward. Miramar is such that it always feels if there is a sniper, you could get sniped at any fucking moment. So you just keep fucking moving forward, trying to get to any cover at all. The cover you've got is this bare divot in the sand, this fucking nothing bit of cover that you're just lying and praying that nobody has any elevation at all, because you'll just be this fucking doofus lying on the ground. We just we kept going. I think we got I'm not sure if it was that game, but I think we got fucking 20 kills as a squad. And Drew did literally nothing. It just was fucking awesome. The whole, after a certain point, there was no longer that pause. There was no longer that period of fucking downtime, because the circle was small enough that you could tell that there was someone just there. And so you were constantly looking there. Plus you're trying to look over here. Plus you're trying to work out if you can afford to take the shot to the west, or if that'll mean that the people to the east will run up over you. All this kind of shit is going on in your mind, and at the same time, you can see that you're counting who's left, the amount of people left. You're there's not many left. We as a squad of 3, I think we outnumber the 2 squads left. Yeah, you work it out, you get it done, and you get the win. It's fucking cool. But at the same time, yeah, it is. I had the SKS. So I was sniping, and Miramar is a map where you do have to snipe, and we're playing 150 ping, and I reckon there would have been a fair chunk less drama in that situation if my shots had been if I didn't have 150 ping, because I would have been hitting my shots as opposed to just barely missing them until I like mentally adjusted to the 150 ping. There's one point where there was this dude and he was lying down behind a burnout car, and like you can still shoot out under you can shoot under a burnout car, right? They don't become fucking blocks, right? I must have fucking pounded 20 fucking bullets into what had to be exactly him. But I think this, like the window, it was like, I think it was like 550 meters. And like there must have been less than half a meter of space underneath this car because I was up elevation wise from him. So I didn't have the biggest fucking wind gap. I only fight 20 bullets and I hit him fucking once. And that's not lag. That's just me fucking potatoing my fucking dick off. But I did manage to, like, he was the last one to die. So that's okay. He put his head out. He straight up no respected us. At one point, like, he was, like, peeking, leaning out and trying to counter-snipe me. And he was straight up doing it with the rhythm. So it was very easy, inevitably, to just fucking wait half a beat and then fucking pop him in the fucking head. It was extremely disrespectful from him, and I'm glad that he died.
Fair enough.
But yeah, good times.
Right.
Yep.
All right, Apex Legends.
Yep.
Season 2 kicked off yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday morning. So yeah, the story points we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Basically, to start at the beginning, some fucking flying monsters started showing up on the island on Kings Canyon, the name of the map. This is after the Leviathans, these giant dinosaur-looking creatures, started moving around the map mysteriously, and eventually Repulsor ended up getting turned, like the power got turned up on it, which meant the flyers went away and the Leviathans started to walk away as well. This is like a 2-week, sort of 3-week story thing that's been going on. They released like updates every couple of days. And then eventually leading up to this whole story thing is that somebody has come in and set off an EMP and Repulsor, which has shut down whatever it was that was keeping those Leviathans and flying things away. It's caused it to be destroyed, and now the Leviathans are on the island. And in saying that, some time has passed. Somebody's come in and tried to do a bit of a cleanup. We've got new areas on the map now. We've got old areas that have been completely obliterated. And yeah, it's just like very different type of map now. You've got that thing where, remember when PUBG first came out and Erangel, the style of map that you are used to is very different to the maps that they put out now. Like, there is a lot of cover-based areas in the terrain.
Yeah.
They're doing that sort of thing now with this map, where they've got a lot of like craters in certain areas, and areas that used to be these wide open spaces. Now there's actually a bit of cover there because they've, managed to go, all right, well, these are bad areas where we're seeing a lot of people dying and we need to fix that up a little bit, like give them a chance. So they've gone and really reworked some of those areas, which is really good.
Yeah.
And then also added like tons and tons of different new locations in terms of like some places just don't resemble what they used to look like.
Yeah, bridges in particular.
Yeah, bridges been completely destroyed, but they've also got a new area called Cages, which is this giant, massive tower thing. There's different buildings that are set up throughout the map that you go into now. Yeah, it's a really good. It feels fresh and new. Like, this is the way I feel like that you go about doing maps. It's that Fortnite strategy of like changing it every couple of months, which is, I think, really refreshing and works well without like splitting the player base too much.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about like all the patch changes that they've kind of put in there?
Sure.
go through.
Yep.
Obviously, Watson is a new character they put in. 1,200 legend tokens, which is chump change for people like you and I that play it quite a bit.
Yep. 12,000.
Watson has a passive ability that lets her instantly charge up her ultimate by using an ultimate accelerant.
Yep.
And basically her ultimate is an interception pylon, which is this like device you can put down on the ground. It repairs damaged shields for other players, and it also intercepts incoming fire from other heroes' abilities, so like mortar strikes from, say, Gibraltar.
And grenades.
Or grenades, yeah.
And it does your own grenades.
Right.
Which I didn't realise, and I don't think it should. But
it's this risk reward system.
Is it?
Of, like, you got to use it at the right time, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a really good ultimate ability, but her Q ability, which is the one where you can kind of use it quite frequently, is putting these nodes down, which electrify. It's like an electric fence.
Yeah.
And you put a node down on the ground, and then there's like a radius that comes up on the map or on your HUD, and you can kind of see where you can put the next node down, and then you can start joining them together, which fences off like this electric wall, and then anybody that runs through it gets slowed down, and I think they take a little bit of damage.
Yep.
And also it pings their location on the map so that you know someone's been through it.
Yeah.
So they're really handy to put down in doorways or like holes that you want to kind of wall off a bit, or you know, if you're in a fight, you can put them down behind you to try and slow people from coming down, third partying you. Like there's a lot of ways you can kind of use them. You know, you put them down to res someone if you want to like stop them from sort of just running in at you. At least you got a bit of a chance then. And yeah, I think she's a really fun character to play.
Yeah, she's
There's
awesome.
like a lot going on with her.
There's fucking stacks going on. I had a game where I was playing with Kleb and a rando. I think it was after you left. When playing together, we went fucking everywhere in this map, but we wound up at Market, and Market, how it's got the doors on the ends, the long ends of Market. So right down the eastern end, there's that sort of like little alcove between the two doors.
Yeah.
I put my fences up between there, and we got jumped on by fucking 4 teams while we were there, and we like locked ourselves into that little area for fucking ages, for the entirety of these 4 teams. We managed to kill 3.5 of them before we fucking eventually went down. Kleb was 100% out of ammo, I believe, and I had 2 Mozambique bullets left. And yeah, we wound up going
2 you only needed.
Yeah, well, fucking that's the other thing. They've upped, like, Mozambique's fucking good, man. It's actually good. It's against an unshielded enemy. If you get all 3 pellets or whatever the fuck it is on target, it's kill. It's
like 100 something damage.
You got to have the attachment though.
Right.
But still, it's fucking good. It's worth it. Like, yeah, I'd gotten that. I put up a video on Twitter. But I'd gotten that thing as the first weapon that I picked up. I picked up that and a longbow. And I was saying on Twitter, if the first guns I picked up were a Mozambique and a longbow before Season 2, I would have quit Apex and queued up PUBG, basically. Because clearly Apex didn't want me to play today. But instead, no, man, I had the Tacho for the Mozambique. Didn't have anything
have a point rounds, they're cool.
Yeah. I didn't have anything for the fucking longbow. I didn't even have a fucking scope on the motherfucker, but I still managed to get a kill with it. Just like fucking no scoping into the fucking into a doorway.
They're easy, yeah.
And the fucking Mozambique went to work. I switched out the the longbow for an R301. Never really got enough fucking ammo for it. I think I had 80 total for the R301. And they've changed how much ammo you can carry per stack for shotguns. It's now 16 per stack. So that's rough. That's pretty fucking rough for the old Mozzie. Because, yeah. I don't know. It just feels like 32 is 2 stacks of fucking shotgun ammo, and you just don't have a lot, man. Like, you can piss through that pretty quick. Sort of feels like you then have to be keeping an eye out for fucking shotgun ammo constantly. That's not like, I never feel like I have to keep an eye out for any other ammo, you know? I'm not like constantly, it's like once I've got what I feel is, if I've got 2 stacks of fucking heavy ammo or 2 stacks of fucking light ammo, I'm not like, oh god, I better get fucking more ammo. Like, it's a nice to have. If I see light ammo, I'll pick it up. If I see heavy ammo, I'll pick it up. But if I've got 2 stacks of fucking shotgun ammo, I'll be like, I need more shotgun ammo.
Sure. Yeah, but like, you think about it, the auto shotty is what? That's like 3 clips you're looking at now, which is about the same as what every other gun is. If it's 16, how much has it got in it? Like 6 per clip?
8 per clip for the EVA 8, isn't it?
Oh, I can't
it's 6 for the Peacekeeper and 8 for the EVA 8.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, a fucking like, what's 80 for an R3, 80 light rounds, and it's 21 for an R301. You know, like, I don't know, that's 4 clips.
Yeah, but you get the attachments for them, and
yeah, I guess
all of a sudden, like, you like, unless you got the clip attachments for those SMGs or those light guns, they're pretty. You're reloading them a lot. It's like 20 bullets, like 18 bullets or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's a good change. Like, it makes them a bit more viable, and that also affects the P2020 as well.
Yep.
Which is the pistol, the handgun. The other hop-ups they added are the disruptor rounds, which increase damage to shields.
Yep.
And that's for the alternator, which is the alternator and the RE45, which are like SMG sort of weapons, like semi-autos.
RE45 is like a full auto pistol, and the alternator is more like a TMP type thing, you know, like a little one-handed SMG.
Like Uzi type thing.
Yeah.
That's going to get nuked to like next patch, I feel like. It's way too powerful.
It's fucking hilarious. I won a game with an alternator and an L-Star, both of which I picked up at the start of that game. It was I think it was like a 8 kill game. I fucking went huge. I was just shredding motherfuckers. I'd punt down their armor with the fucking alternator and then finish them off with the L-Star. Like, just running towards them, like, always towards them. And I literally, I think where did we land? Like, fucking in the middle near the cage, and I landed on the fucking new drop.
Right. And
picked up an alternator and an L-Star and the attachment. And then I went to fucking work. So straight up, I would just run at them with the alternator, shooting them. Their armor would be gone before I'd finish the clip, and then I'd switch to the L-Star and finish them off from fucking 4 meters away while they were shitting themselves because someone was running directly at them. And then I'd find the next fucking target. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was sick.
I think it gets nerfed a little bit.
It has to.
Patch,
I think so.
It's super powerful. I was playing games where I just run around with that.
Yeah.
You don't even need to switch weapons because it still does damage, like tons of damage.
Yeah, it does. It really does. The alternator in particular. The RE45 is still shit without the fucking hop up, and I haven't found it with the hop up yet. So yeah, but yeah, the RE45 is garbage.
Yeah, alternator works well. So you talked about the L-Star, which is a new airdrop weapon, only available in the airdrops that spawn in the matches. And it's like a laser. It says here it's a plasma projectile.
Right.
It shoots really quickly. It overheats if you fire it for too long.
Yep.
And it's also got a limited amount of ammo. I think it's around about 90
Yeah.
bullets, but it does a lot of damage pretty quickly.
If you can get like, I think it's like 6 fucking shots on target, they're done. I used it. I used it like a shotgun because you've got so little ammo that
It's a good close range weapon.
yeah, you don't want to be like taking shots from range with it. But if you get in close and just fucking burst them, they're done. It's good. It's a good weapon.
Yep.
I think it overheats a little bit quickly, but at the same time, if you're holding down fire for that long, fight's probably over anyway. Just doesn't feel like a satisfying amount of time for it to, like, I don't know, not overheat. I feel like it should last a bit longer. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won't go into specifics about some of the weapon changes. A couple of buffs for the weapons that aren't being used as much. It looks like mostly.
I found a gold flatline, which is one of the ones that got buffed.
Yeah. Yeah, they fixed the gold weapons so that you're not getting terrible attachments on those guns anymore.
Although the flatline in particular has the fucking 2 times
right
round sight, which is my least favorite.
Yeah, but is it the scope? It goes 2 to 4.
No, it's literally just the 2 by.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate that scope. But it's pretty good. It's like it's gotten a general buff at the flatline in general, so that's good. What else?
Hot zones have been removed. No more hot zones in casual play. They've been replaced by airdrops at the start of the map.
Yep.
So now there's 2 airdrops that will instantly spawn into the map. I think you can see while you're in the plane where they're going. Yeah, you can. But they, by the time you basically land on the ground, they will be there waiting for you. So it's like this: who can get to the airdrop first? And they've changed up the loot table on that so that you'll get things like Krabers earlier on in the game, as opposed to them being late game weapons that only spawn then. So they're trying to get like some of those weapons out a bit earlier. And then a bunch of buffs to some of your thick boys. So Gibraltar, Caustic got buffs.
Yep.
And this is something we talked about like when the game first came out in relation to hitboxes. Your bigger characters have bigger hitboxes, which meant they were dying quicker. And so people were sort of leaning towards your smaller characters like your Pathfinder, who has hard hitbox, your Wraith and your Lifeline, which are smaller characters. And what they ended up doing was putting in sort of like passives on top of these characters so that, all right, your Gibraltars and Caustics have this ability called Fortified, which means they can take more damage. So it's like a damage reduction on top of them.
Yep.
And also they're now immune to slow effects from weapon fire and things like that. Whereas your Wraiths, your Pathfinders, and your Lifelines now have a damage increase as well. So they're trying to balance those a bit more, which is really good.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. And then some basic changes to the way hero abilities work. Won't go through like a lot of them.
Nah.
But there's a lot of good stuff in there that I feel is really needed, that buffs a lot of the characters, which is good. They've got a new stats page as well, which will show your overall stats from the games you've played from season 1 up until now. So there are stats they haven't been tracking.
Yeah.
But they've started tracking some of them, which is cool. So you can go back and be like, how many wins did I get in season 1? Or how many kills did I get? That sort of stuff, which is good to see. It's presented pretty well.
Yep.
They've changed the way that circle speeds will sort of decrease, and also the amount of damage you take.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot more damage in the circles now, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's like I was playing a game yesterday with some randoms, and they decided to leave the circle to go, well, not leave the circle, but the circle was about to close in, and they decided they were going to go fight a third party, another team.
Right.
And I thought it was a bad idea because I knew that the tick damage had changed, and so they started this fight. they left this fight pretty fucking late, so they were taking a lot of tick damage, whereas I was just outrunning it. And we got into the circle, they started healing, and then we immediately got third party. The team that they were fighting in the circle came in from behind and shot them while they were healing. And so they got screwed. So yeah, you got to really worry about that stuff now, because you can take a lot of damage.
That game where I had the fucking alternator in the L-Star, I was the last one alive in my team before we got the win, because they, like, I think we were in the 6th or 7th circle. There was only a handful of people left, and they were like on the edge, fighting on the edge of the circle, down to half health, and they just got fucking chunked out, like in a heartbeat. Like, they were talking in chat about how fast they died and how surprised they were, and one of them had the fucking self revive.
Yep.
Got himself back up and died immediately. Like, it's not even worth self-reviving if you're outside of the fucking circle. Because you just won't make it back in, which is, like, none of us expected. Which is, I think it's good. I think it's appropriate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ranked play has also been put in, which is something we talked about last week.
Yep.
Still got a lot of work to do with that. They're basing it a lot on like your position in the game, where you come in terms of your, I think it's 0 to 20, your placement, and the higher your placement, the more RP you get, which is their, I guess, rank points. And you also get rank points based on the amount of kills, which caps out at 5. So I think that needs a lot of work still.
Yeah.
I think they need to take damage into consideration, because I feel like that's a pretty good stat to look at in terms of, who's actually getting kills or knockdowns. Like, you don't want teams coming in and rather than knocking down other players, they're just going to start killing people that are on the ground so they can get that kill.
Yeah. That's good.
Like, we were seeing some of that in the old early days of PUBG esports, where it's like, well, this stuff doesn't really matter in terms of competitive scenes, so we'll just focus on doing these other things instead. Like, we'll just camp it out, or we'll just focus on getting kills from knockdowns. And then obviously that's a little bit different, but they got some work to do there on how that's working. And just like the incentive of, all right, you've got 5 kills, you've maxed out your kills, what's the point in fighting teams now? Why not play for rank?
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, it's probably better for you. You're not going to lose points for just rank tanking, basically. It's a bit dumb. So hopefully they make that a bit better. And it'd be interesting to see how that sort of ends up playing once people sort of settle into their proper ranks, and are queues going to be popping as quickly in there? Like, how long are you going to have to wait? Well, I guess was sort of something we have to wait and see as people grind their way through to where they're supposed to be. The interesting system they got in there is that, like, you're paying points to actually play in ranked, which is an interesting system.
Yeah, it's a weird one, because I think it sort of really makes you question how good you think you are.
Yeah.
Am I worth another attempt at trying to win a fucking round? I don't have the points, like the exact points details up in front of me, but like, it gets pretty expensive to play when you get up pretty high. Like, you will definitely lose a lot if you get to a certain level and don't place. There's some significant fucking costs at that point.
And I'm not 100% sure how the like specifics of it work, but there are things like, if you don't get any kills and you die really quickly, then it doesn't cost you any points. But I don't know if that's only in the lower.
No, that's only tiers. If someone. That's only if you've got levers.
Someone disconnects.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's that's only if someone disconnects on your team. So it's just to make it more fair.
So in bronze, it's free to actually play.
Yeah.
Whereas in silver, it's 1, gold is 2, platinum is 3, diamond is 4, and then apex predator is 5. So 5 is pretty high. Well, yeah. I'm sure they'll tweak it as things go on, but yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I did have some people that left in my games that I was playing yesterday, and I don't know if that stage they knew that system was in place. Because if you abandon in ranked, you lose points, but you also you can't play. Like, it stops you from playing the game for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I think it's the way it should be.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been playing a bit of ranked. I think I'm up to bronze 1, something like that, around there.
Nice.
I think I got one more and I hit silver.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like people are maybe taking it a bit more seriously. It's not like let's drop at school. Like, I haven't seen a lot of instant drops in those matches that I've played.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people like
there are a lot of late drops. Yeah.
Yeah, picking where to drop.
Yep. Which is good, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a good precursor to the concept of a competitive game, you know? I don't know that the game is necessarily ready for competitive, but it's definitely, like preparation for it, you know?
Yep. So yeah, played a bunch of games. I really like that new character. There's there's been some interesting ways that you can kind of use her in terms of, like, when you're being chased, you can stop people from chasing you.
You had that the sickest fucking kill with the electric fence last night.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing. Because we were all we were wrecked. We got fucking... It was
third party.
Yeah, third party. Like, they were coming in. We'd just finished the most fucking protracted fucking firefight. And, just took forever, man. And, enough time for a third party to walk all the way up from fucking, I don't even know where, like fucking
maybe
bunker.
Bridges.
Yeah.
Bunker, yeah.
Like fucking ages away. Wandered up, tried to jump us. Actually, they got me down. Was it JB?
JB was down, yeah.
Yeah, JB
It was JB first, then you and I were fighting the other 3 guys.
Yeah, the next 3 guys. I had fuck all ammo left. It definitely feels like there's... I don't know if it's like that there's more bad guns or what, but I definitely felt like I haven't had as much ammo. But and you were Watson, and the last one was fucking on you, man, and you managed to get a fence down, and they just fucking powered through it. And then
what happened was I got the fence down.
Yep.
Pathfinder, I think it was Pathfinder, ran through it. The fence then went up and activated. I started shooting this guy, and he backpedaled into the fence.
It was, yeah.
And I had 2 of them there. I don't know if they stack damage or what's going on. Because I put 3 down. I put like 1, 2, and then a third one, and so it created 2 barriers.
Yep.
So I don't know if they stack, but anyway, he backpedaled through it, and then it got immediately slowed.
Yeah, and then he must have been freaking out. From my point of view, he was looking around behind him.
Yeah.
To see what was hurting him. I think he might have thought he was taking damage from something else. I don't know. But yeah, he freaked out. And
I've got a video of that one. I can put it up on this one.
It was rad. Yeah.
Man, I'm really digging it. It's so good. Like, all the changes they put in there. The first time that I fired it up, I wasn't playing with any of you guys, and I went to Repulsor.
Yeah.
There's that, like... I don't know what it's called, but there's sort of, not gas station, we call it gas station, but there's a bit like outside of Repulsor, and then it sort of looks down into the valley, and then that's where you can sort of head over to water treatment, and then on your right hand side is where bridges used to be, and there was like a canyon there with a giant sort of underpass, rock underpass, and I was down the bottom looting stuff because I'd come from Repulsor, and I'd gone down the bottom. I'm just like freely looting. You know, all this shit is being destroyed. And then I look to my right, and this is where the Leviathans are, which are these huge dinosaurs that are in the map. And then I realized that wall that used to be there is completely gone.
Mm.
And I can see, like, up the back of past, like, bridges where your bridges used to be, up into some of the
just south of fucking artillery and shit.
Yeah,
that
like
area there.
up where there's supposed to be rocks and things, like there's little alleyways that you can go to, and I realized, like, holy fuck, I'm standing out in the open. Anybody could have just shot me with a sniper rifle or something. Like, now you've got to really consider that how open that area is.
Yeah.
And they do really good things of, like I talked about before with the craters and whatnot, but there's debris everywhere, and there are those giant leviathans that you can actually use as cover now. And they've got items underneath their legs, which randomly will pop up every once in a while. And you've got about 5 or 6 seconds before the foot comes back down and stomps you. But if you're nearby and one of those goes up, you can get a really good, you can get a Phoenix kit or some sort of item from them, which is pretty handy.
Mm.
Yeah, just having that sort of stuff in the map is really fun. Like, seeing all the new places that are in it. Like, there's places I haven't been to yet. I played a bunch yesterday. I think I played 30 rounds, 25 rounds, and I've got about 7 or 8 wins. And there are places I've not gone to yet to see how different they are.
Yeah.
And I'm keen to go check out.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Because there was a moment where I was running around, I'm like, I don't even know where I am. Like, this has completely changed. I look so different. Up near Cages, that new area, there's these giant indoor sort of buildings you can go into. Yeah, it's awesome what they've done.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. Which is why I bought the Battle Pass.
I am going to buy it as well.
Yeah. I'm like,
I think it's
you know what?
deserve it.
You earned my $10. Fuck it.
Yeah.
This is like, it's a significant improvement over the previous one. It feels like they've actually, worked for the money. The daily challenges and stuff is
so smart.
Yeah, really good. Like,
but at the same time, I don't like that they've changed. It feels more grindy now.
I don't feel like I'm getting many Battle Pass levels.
Yeah, it feels like you're gonna get a lot to start off with.
Yeah.
But the only reason I'm getting a lot to start off with is because I'm doing those challenges.
Yeah.
Once those challenges all disappear, it's going to slow right down.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out, but I can't see my Battle Pass level, like where I'm at. Have they hidden that now, or am I not looking in the right spot?
I don't know.
Like, there used to be you've got 20,000 out of 45,000 points. There'd be a bar.
It doesn't feel super clear, but I don't think you earn Battle Pass levels that way anymore. I think you just sort of get the level. I honestly haven't worked out how you get Battle Pass levels 100%. Yeah.
Right. I know there is maybe that's what it is. If you go into your weekly challenges, there is a bar at the top of it that says it's got an infinity symbol. That's probably what it is. And it's got, like, how many points you've got.
Right.
And then you've got, like, 1 BP. So I guess that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't really make clear when you finish a game how many points you're getting and whatnot. It seems like they've made it quicker for you to get Battle Pass points, but once you have finished those challenges, it's going to really slow down significantly.
Yeah.
Because I'm at level, I think, 7 or 8 at the moment. I finished Season 1 at 51, I think, around there. I didn't buy the Battle Pass last season, just because I kind of wanted to see where they'd take it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable, 171 hours in. I feel like they, for a free-to-play game, they have earned my money.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's good. I'm digging it. I hope they keep pumping out some patches. Is a bit of a buggy things happening. You were having, like, HUD issues yesterday.
100%.
I was seeing like weird flickering going on every once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that in the patch notes about, like, known issues or anything either. So I'm sure other people are having it as a problem, but
the HUD problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people complain about it.
Yeah, right. Good. It's pretty annoying when you're trying to loot under pressure. Like, it's hard.
Yep.
Because you can't see you can't see what you're fucking looting. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. But yeah. Anyway.
It's a good change. Good changes. I hope they keep it up. And they start pumping out some heroes. Some more heroes. See what... Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto is probably the next one, right? I don't know what the fuck he does, but... Yeah.
And they've got, like, the caged flyers on the map as well. Like, are they going to let fucking loose at some stage and start attacking people?
Make it so that you can shoot open the fucking cage or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because now they've got flyers. The flyers are still around the map, but sometimes they like land on places, and then you've got to go and find them and shoot them. Like, I think we were playing yesterday, and there was one above bunker that was just kind of sitting there. I've been to water treatment, and there's one sitting on like one of the buildings in water treatment that you go shoot. Yeah, some cool stuff going on there.
It's good.
Yep. All right, should we move on? Do some news.
Yep.
What have we got? Does Cyberpunk 2077 have multiplayer, Joab?
No. What?
So there was an interview that went around in the last couple of days, and they were talking about how the Cyberpunk team is made up of a lot of different teams. It sounds like there are 5 teams over at CD Projekt Red, and 3 of them are working on Cyberpunk-related products.
Yep.
And there was some clarification today about this story in particular. And one of those teams is apparently a 40-person team working on multiplayer or some sort of multiplayer component.
Right.
And the clarification today was that CD Projekt have multiple teams working on Cyberpunk, but they're not specifically like different Cyberpunk-related products. They're not like Cyberpunk 2077 fucking Witcher card game type experiences.
Right.
So they clarified that bit, but they did not talk about multiplayer. They didn't clarify whether or not there was a multiplayer component. So it's possible that there is something they're working on, but they are not confirming or going or like clarifying that interview that went out from whoever it was that did it. It was I think a Polish website that ended up posting it. So yeah, could be multiplayer. Maybe they're just research and development type stuff. They're trying to figure it out. Maybe it's something that comes later on, like Red Dead sort of esque beta stuff. Who knows? But that could be interesting. Fucking co-op. Imagine that game with co-op.
Oh,
holy crap!
That'd be fucking sick. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Yep. So
I'm sure we'll hear about that if that does eventuate into something else. But I'd be keen to play something like
that.
Yep. Rainbow Six Siege Wild Wild West. It's a limited time event.
3v3.
Yeah, 3 versus 3 with sort of like single fire weapons. They've got 2 weapons in there. It's a new map.
Yep.
Which is not a huge map. It's very small.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Fort. And it's a 3v3 very quick, like shoot the other people with Western themes, like people wearing cowboy hats
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, fun little mode. I've not checked it out, but I've heard some fun things about it.
Yeah,
sounds interesting.
I'll have to load up Uplay, check it out, because I love me some Wild West. It's a cool idea. It's a very cool idea.
Yeah. Next up, Remedy Entertainment has got back the rights to Alan Wake. So this is previously owned by Microsoft.
Right.
Published their game way back when. The game eventually ended up coming out on PC. And since then, Alan Wake 2 was in some sort of form of development. That ended up being shifted across to not happening. And Quantum Break was kind of the thing they were focusing on for Microsoft. And then that came out, and they've now been working on Control, which is due out at really soon. It's like next 2 months or something, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I keep meaning to check out Quantum Break, but then I just don't do it. So, cool. Great story.
August 27th, so it's next month.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm keen to see what they do next. Obviously, Alan Wake has become this like cult hit for them. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and do something else with it. They've talked about they're doing this TV series.
Yeah.
Whether or not that ends up coming, you know, to something that's actually real or not, or if it's just they end up making a pilot, it doesn't get picked up and ends up being shelved somewhere. That could end up happening. But yeah, I'd definitely be keen for an Alan Wake sequel. I thought the writing in that game was outstanding. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But I'm glad they've got it back. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Maybe fucking PlayStation comes along. Hopefully it's not Nintendo and says, let's do it.
That'd be cool.
Because I think after what's happened with Microsoft the last couple of, 2 years with them picking up a lot of studios and really bringing it to the next generation of wanting to have first-party games, maybe Sony could look at doing something similar with them. And they've obviously worked with them with Control.
Yeah.
Having some exclusive content. So yeah, who knows?
Cool.
We'll see. But I feel like if that were to happen, people would be very upset, especially the Xbox community.
Oh yeah,
or Microsoft community. Yeah, so maybe it's not that smart of an idea. NBA 2K20, the cover star has been revealed as Anthony Davis, the Los Angeles Lakers superstar, Joab.
Yep. our new Lord and Savior, AD, until a certain KL shows up as well. In which case, AD will just be
the third
wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool covers they've got going on this one.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is obviously still wearing his Pelicans jersey, which they've tried as hard as they possibly can to cover up. There's that the story a couple of years back, 2 years back, where Kyrie Irving was on the cover and
NBA. That was
traded.
That was the EA one. That was the NBA Live one. Oh, NBA 2K.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he ended up getting traded.
Yeah.
Like midst midst this game coming out.
Yeah, mid-reveal. Hilarious.
And so yeah, they ended up reissuing. No, Kyrie Irving was on 2018.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure though?
Because I remember, because I went to the event for this.
Oh, you went to the one in New York. But I thought
he was also on it. Yeah, he was definitely on a cover. I think it was 2016.
I'm pretty sure the live one was the one where he was traded, and they had the wrong color.
No, 2018. You can search it right now.
Okay, fine.
And also, we were pretty sure that Kyrie was probably supposed to be at this event.
Oh, right.
Being the cover athlete.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about him wanting to be traded was a thing that was going on. And I think the day before, he ended up getting traded.
Oh.
And so we were pretty confident that he was not going to be there at this event.
Gold.
Yeah. And so they ended up actually doing like a second cover for 2018, which was him in the Boston Celtics jersey. Originally, he was in the Cleveland Cavaliers jersey. And so over the last couple of years, they've really tried to make that jersey not as prominent for some of the people that I guess want to get traded, like your Anthony Davis. So yeah, Anthony Davis is covering up his basketball jersey in this photo, which is quite funny. From what I've read, they're going to change it they're going to make it Lakers jersey, or they'll reshoot it or something like that.
Right.
And the second player, the Legend Edition, will be Dwayne Wade.
The Flash.
The Cleveland Cavalier superstar.
D. Wade. What was his other nickname? He had another nickname. It was fucking awful. Oh, I can't remember. It was like... what was it? It was so bad. Even LeBron thought it was bad, and LeBron's the corniest cunt alive.
WoW.
Oh yeah, Way of Wade. Remember that shit? Holy shit, it was so bad. Yeah, his nickname was Wow. That was so bad. Anyway,
Yeah.
D Wade's a legend though, and
Right.
yeah.
But if you haven't seen, Joab and I
yeah,
are matching jackets
yep,
with our Dwayne Wade Miami Heat jackets. They're really good jackets.
they're
Like
awesome jackets.
When they first released these, they look sick. It's like this, like old school fluoro colored
Miami
neon
Vice.
yeah, jersey that they put out. Yeah, they look rad, and the cover looks awesome.
Yeah,
Both of them look really good.
yeah. But the legend cover looks sick.
Yeah.
Don't know how the game's going to be yet.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of their tiered like SKUs they've got, where you basically pay to win for this multiplayer game.
Yep.
Getting VC coins and whatnot. Still don't like that stuff. They've added the WNBA into the game, it seems like, which is cool. And
Cool.
don't know what else is going on there. I guess we'll find out soon, but I am excited for basketball. It has been a very basketball heavy week. Free agency started. I have been on my phone constantly. It is a nightmare.
It's so rough.
It's extremely rough.
You just want quiet. Fucking...
I just want to know what is going on. All right, it's been too long.
Did you see the stuff about how he might not go to the Lakers because the deal got leaked? Because
everybody's getting leaked.
Holy shit! That fucking kid is dead.
Well, all the stuff that happened last night. I mean, if that stuff isn't even true, like, you don't know if this guy was legit or not. The one leaking all. I mean, people were leaking Clippers stuff as well.
It's true.
Raptors, the stuff that happened last night, the Raptors.
What happened?
I missed
the Raptors stuff. What happened?
So Kawhi's done his LA meetings, so he's done his Clippers meetings and Los Angeles Lakers meetings.
Yeah.
And then the last team he wanted to go see was the Raptors again. And people were like tracking the plane.
Oh,
like
right.
The private jet of the owner
Yeah.
that was coming from LAX to wherever it was. And they had like a helicopter following the person in the car that got off the plane.
Christ, that's crazy.
And so eventually someone leaked where the meeting was supposed to take place, which was a hotel somewhere. And I don't know where it was leaked from, but I saw a tweet, and I don't know if she was joking. She was a reporter saying that Drake was telling people where it was going on. And there was a huge fucking presence of people outside of this hotel waiting, like public people. So I feel like that's probably more of a big deal if he's concerned about privacy than even some random person posting stuff that is probably maybe not even true. It's like third-party information, probably. Yeah. Either way, he's going about it very different to the way that it has been conducted by superstars in the last couple of years. Very private.
Yeah.
I mean, going into free agency, everybody kind of knew that Kyrie was probably not going to be around anymore in the Celtics, and KD was probably going to leave somewhere. And yeah, as soon as that free agency was up, like, they were gone. KD was out, Kyrie was out, over to Brooklyn, which is it's hard if you're a New York Knicks person.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Because they have gotten nothing again. I mean, they got Julius Randle, who's awesome. But otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
The Lakers are in this spot where they can't sign anybody until they either sign Kawhi or that's it. Like, and they're in a spot where it's hard for them not to do one or the other. Like, it's a bad move if they start signing other people without him saying yes, because like him coming along is like a once in 10, 15 years type opportunity.
Yeah.
So either you take that risk, or like the risk is worth it. I feel like you've got two of the top 5, top 10 NBA superstars on your team.
Yep.
And the chance to get a third one is, they're creating a super team of their own by doing this. So why not take the risk? See what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the basketball 5-minute thing.
Yep.
What else we got here?
What else do we have?
Some games done quick.
Summer Games Done Quick made $3 million for Doctors Without Borders. That's fucking awesome. It's rad. I watched a bit of it. I love speedruns. I love watching speedruns. I love watching speedruns as VODs as opposed to live because there's so much insular banter that I have no fucking time for. But I love watching really, really good players do their thing and master a game with the pressure of it being live. I just don't want to have to watch it live, which is cool. And finally, some chick is selling her bathtub water. This some chick is selling a bathtub water of a gamer girl for all the thirsty gamer boys. It's, I don't know, just strikes me as some of the saddest shit I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. You know, good on her for exploiting fucking morons.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, who's buying this shit? It is just, it's just fucked, is what it is. It's literally like 30 milliliters of her bathtub water. This is the chick who like did a Pornhub channel a couple of weeks ago, and it was all just safe for work videos, and dudes were losing their fucking minds. Yeah, it's just whack shit, man. I don't know. I don't want to be all old man Joab, but fuck, what is going on? What is going on these days? Anyway, that's it. That's what I got.
Right.
That's my news.
I think it's also whack. It's dumb.
It is. But you did buy some, right? You still bought?
No, I bought two.
Of course.
I thought you wanted one.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shall we do questions? Let's do questions.
Are there any questions?
Yes. Dangers writes, Dear Dad, when is the next Mario Kart party? Please don't bring the cheese and bacon balls again. It's a fair question. I would actually... We should play Mario Kart again. Like, we haven't played Mario Kart in fun.
We should definitely not.
We absolutely should. You were going to get lucky last time we played Mario Kart, so I don't know why you're upset. Yeah. How good is Mario Kart? Oh, actually...
When was the last Mario Kart? 2014. Okay.
You're joking. There must be... I thought there was a Switch one. Isn't there a Switch one?
Yeah, there was a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but it's basically the same fucking
deal.
game, right?
Yeah, right. They need to make a new one. Good point.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U in 2014.
Yeah. Shit. It's ages ago. I'd prefer to play old school Mario Kart back before all the flying and stuff, but
you can go play Crash Team Racing.
Classic. Gold. We only do Crash Team Racing parties now.
Yep.
Good question, Dangers. He's got another one. Sorry, I mean, hiya, Luke and Jobatron. Quick question. What's your thoughts on competitive WoW? Do you ever think it will be a big player in the esports world again, or has its time passed? Cheers, Dang. Depends on which one you mean. There's two. There's obviously arena, competitive arena, and there is the mid-season dungeon running invitational thing they do.
Right.
I don't know if you've watched. I've watched more of the dungeon run than I have of arena. Mm-hmm. I find arena to be more compelling, personally, but I think the dungeon run is a bit easier to watch and more familiar to the traditional World of Warcraft experience. Basically, you run through a dungeon as fast as possible, and it gets mythic invitational dungeon running, or whatever the fuck it's called. And it gets more complex the further on you go, and more challenging, and the challenge is to get as far as possible and see which team can do the best. Australia had the best team in the world a couple of, like 2 years ago, I think, maybe last year as well.
It's because we got to play on we were playing on Southeast Asia servers for so long.
We're used to.
But we got so good.
We were born in the dark. They merely adopted it. And Arena is obviously the traditional World of Warcraft arena experience, but it's not the sort of, it's not what I associate with World of Warcraft PvP, so I don't find it as interesting. I never really played all that much arena. I played it a little bit, but I didn't play it shitloads because I didn't have a solid team, and having
and you've also got to be geared for it. Like, you've got to play it to get the gear. I don't know.
For me, Battlegrounds was always more representative of the generic World of Warcraft PvP experience, when the pure experience for me was ganking cunts in Stranglethorn Vale. Just catching some dick
as a cloaked elf or something.
Nah, rolling in.
That's my max
level fucking Death Knight. Finding some Bambinos only level 40 and just fucking pummeling the fuck out of them. That's the classic World of Warcraft PvP experience. It happened to me when I was level 40, and I have to make it happen when I'm max level. So
right.
The circle will ever continue. I don't know that Arena as an esport can reach the same heights that it had when World of Warcraft was at its height. I do think that World of Warcraft might be. I think they need to do something new. I don't think they can continue. Obviously, people are attached to their characters and stuff, but I absolutely feel like it's time for WoW 2.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
It's time to switch it up and move to a new engine, move to something like the next version of the MMO, as opposed to releasing the broadest possible expansion pack, which was Battle for Azeroth, and then gradually making it into something that dedicated players want to play, because it just doesn't work anymore. That said,
right. But I think that's what Titan was supposed to be, right? That was originally supposed to be it wasn't WoW 2, but it was their next MMO.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for whatever reason. They ended up bringing a lot of those assets across to Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't know why, to be honest.
Yeah.
I assume Blizzard has their reasons.
I guess the market changed, right? There's no MMOs aren't really a big deal anymore. They are a big deal, but it's not like the thing people are playing these days. No one releases MMOs.
Yeah, but isn't that just because they've all been burnt from trying to? Blizzard hasn't been burnt from trying to yet.
Right.
Right? Like, if anyone can still experiment in that realm, you would think it'd be them.
And could you do a paid MMO, do you think? Or would it have to be free?
Yeah, that's stage. Yeah. See, I think that might be the bigger question. But I think Blizzard could get away with a free MMO.
Blizzard could, yeah, for sure.
It shocks.
Blizzard can release anything except for Heroes of the Storm, which it's dead now, right?
Yeah, well, but they killed Heroes of the Storm, right? They could have kept Heroes of the Storm going, and they just fucking ended that one.
Right.
I think
that sort of ties into the esports thing. Is that I think as long as publishers are putting money behind games, and you're going to see it big on the esports scene. Blizzard was doing that with Arena, I think as recently as the last 12 months or something. I saw them doing stuff with it.
Yeah. But Australia had a team over at the World Cup, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be big for this. Like, you can't have an. I think if whatchamacallit, what is it called? Overwatch is proving anything. It's that just money alone won't make an esport last. Like, money alone is not enough to make an esport worth it. You need compelling viewing. And I honestly think Arena is a more compelling viewing experience than fucking Overwatch. But at the same time, because it's only 3 versus 3, instead of 6 versus 6. So it's less of a clusterfuck, but it's still kind of a clusterfuck a lot of the time. And it is a lot of watching them isolate a single player to try to burn them down and see, and being very excited over a bar going down, that sort of thing.
Right.
Which is not, the most compelling thing. If they were to do a new World of Warcraft, they could reinvigorate that by introducing some interesting visuals. I think that's what holds Arena back ultimately, is the not terribly interesting visuals. So it's only really appealing to people who are actively looking to watch Arena as a competitive game,
Right. And it also, how long until we see a Blizzard auto chest?
Oh, yeah.
Auto chest, sorry.
Right? Fucking hell. Auto chest.
Yeah. In the next month? Are they scrambling to be like, oh shit, we could do this?
I wouldn't be surprised. I believe, didn't Tencent announce their new auto chests yesterday and stuff?
Okay.
I believe. I think. It's coming out tomorrow.
Right.
What's it called? It's Chess Rush. Auto battler, 10-minute matches, fast and fair.
Okay.
50 plus heroes, which is a fucking ton.
Fish guy. Who's their fish guy?
I haven't seen yet, but I'm interested to find out what fish guy's name is.
Yeah.
He's obviously the critical element in any auto chess, so yeah. Yep, anyway, good question, Dave. Good questions. I'm sorry that your email to your dad accidentally got dumped in our question.
Yeah, that happens
section.
Sometimes.
It does happen. That's it.
That's it. The Gap. You can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, YouTube. Where else, Joab?
Anywhere that podcasts can be found.
Hopefully.
At all good local retailers. Yep.
Please, if you got a moment, rate and review the show if you can. It helps other people find the show.
Yep.
And if you'd like to send us any questions like Dangers, you can email us if you'd like to, thegapodcast@gmail.com, or you can go onto our Discord page, which is thegapodcast.com/Discord. Got a bunch of channels in there where you can leave questions. You can just talk to people about random stuff. You can play video games. We're playing a lot of Underlords at the moment. We get crews going Underlords. We got some Apex going.
Yep. That's it.
I feel like they're the main two.
PUBG shows up sometimes.
PUBG, maybe.
Crops up a bit.
Yeah,
a little.
Sometimes when I let people play.
Yeah.
You can find us on social media, facebook.com/GAPodcast, twitter.com/GAPodcast. You can go to our YouTube page, which is thegapodcast.com/YouTube. You can watch a video of Joab and I destroying people in Apex Legends this week. Maybe I'll try and get some Underlords if I can figure out how to fucking make it record. Maybe I'll have to try Fraps or something like that.
Weird.
Mine turn on
Shadow Play
capture.
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
Yeah, but it fucks with other games sometimes. It'll make the screen flicker. It's a known bug.
Okay.
I don't know if they end up fixing that, but
probably not.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all good fun. You can check that out. As I said, thegapodcast.com/YouTube, or you can go to our website, thegapodcast.com. It's got links to all the things we just talked about, including past episodes of the show. If you want to check them out, you can. That's all thanks to our Patreon members that keep this site running. Patreon.com/GAPodcast if you want to help support the show. Appreciate everyone that does that every month.
We do. You're the best.
Much.
Thank you.
And anything you would like to talk about this week that you've posted? Things like your...
Yeah, check out my IGN article on auto chess. It's pretty comprehensive. It's like 3,000 words long. There's a good video in it as well. Check out Red Bull for a really, really in-depth interview with Drew McCoy and something Lee. I can't remember his name.
not Anthem. Fucking Apex guys.
Yes.
Right.
Very in-depth about Apex, competitive Apex, anti-cheat, what they were trying to do with the Mozambique, stuff like that. It's cool. Yeah. That's it. What about you?
Nothing.
Cool. Hit me up on Twitter at JoeyJojo.
I'm twitter.com/LukeLawrie, and that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'll have some stuff. Got a lot of things coming up in the next month that I'm working on.
Nice.
So more than. Otherwise, that is it. There's games coming out? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's pretty quiet. It's that slow period before August hits, and then it's like, all right, now it's time to get busy.
Yep. Now it's getting stupid.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, cheers.
Catch you next week.
Bye.